Yeah, I'm ready.
Welcome to this episode of One More Round. You're here with me, Sephton, your host. And today we have Inna Mel all the way in New York. Now, Inna, I've known Inna for about 5 years, so I'm really excited to utilize that relationship of us knowing each other and really creating a show that really kind of brings you something exciting and enthusiastic. And so Inna Mel is a relationship and dating coach. So actually this episode should be amazing. She should be so good at relating to me as a host. There should be no exceptions at all. Now, the good thing with Inna is actually she's going to be the first relationship and dating coach on One More Round. So I'm really excited to be able to draw out of Inna some of that ability to be able to really give us some clear grounds of how to better relate to each other, because I think that's so important, especially in business. Inna, how are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Inna, we've known each other for what, 5 years?
Yeah, for a long time.
So it's incredible, you know, we've both seen each other's journey. You've obviously been working in the relationship and dating space for quite a while. And I'm really excited to be able to find out more about that later on in the show. But for people who don't have the privilege of knowing you like I do for the last 5 years, you know, who is Inna Mel?
Wow, so Inna Mel is it's a company that I created, basically geared towards helping women, single women, find love. As you know, I live in New York City, and there's so many beautiful, single, successful women, yet they have such a hard time finding and sustaining the love. I also work with couples who are going through certain types of conflicts within their relationships. Sometimes, I also help them kind of rekindle their romance. So that's kind of what I do. And I'm just so excited and happy to be able to offer my services and help people like myself, because I was once in that situation. So really
Right,
excited.
so what you've done then in effect is you've kind of experienced some things in your own life,
Correct. Yes.
saw some of the challenges and decided actually, you know, I'm not the only one who feels like that. So I'm going to create a business and create
Absolutely.
something
Yes.
that takes my learnings and puts it into the hearts of other
And
women.
applies them.
Beautiful.
Correct. Yes.
Outside of the whole dating and relationship world then, Inna, what do you do like to switch off, you know, because it's really important that when we're entrepreneurial and we're creating, you know, what are some of the things that you're doing to kind of really just disengage? Where would we find you if we were to put a camera on you over the weekend, for example? What would you be doing?
So on my time off, when I'm not helping women, I love to meditate and to kind of just take time in for myself. I think self-care is very important. I also love to do yoga. I just started Pilates, which is very different, but it's interesting. I enjoy reading. I enjoy spending time with family. As you know, I'm a very big family-oriented person. So on my days off, you would probably either find me somewhere at a family event, or, maybe curled up with a book. I love to read and learn about different things that don't necessarily pertain to what I do. And like I said, yoga, meditation has become a daily practice for me. I have a great meditation teacher, Chandrash, and he has been helping me on this journey as well. So that's kind of where you would find me when I'm not helping and serving others.
Yeah, I definitely was glad to hear you mention about family, because I've always seen that about you, like very family orientated, Jewish heritage, which obviously is always a good thing in terms of family dynamics. Are you afraid of anything, Inna? I mean, you seem very composed, very calm. What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of not living my life to the fullest. And what I mean by that, I'm afraid of being just average and not really living up to my potential. I believe that we as human beings have so much potential. And, unfortunately, many of us don't utilize that. Like, we don't live up to the potential. And so my biggest fear is to kind of live this life and not really live towards my potential, if that makes
Yeah, it does. I mean,
Yeah,
we only get one shot at this life, don't we? So
exactly.
we have to
Yeah.
maximize what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. We only get one shot. And I also feel like because, for myself, I was born in a different country. So coming here when I was 7 years old with my entire family, they really did provide us with the opportunity to really become someone and to really kind of utilize all of our tools and means. So I think it's important to kind of to realize that, and then to really just put yourself out there, figure out who you are as a person. And that's something that I've been doing, as you know, for many years, really on this journey of trying to figure out who am I, what is my purpose in this world, what is my place also,
Yeah.
ultimately. Yeah.
Now you're from Uzbekistan, aren't you?
Correct. Yeah, I was born in Uzbekistan, and we immigrated here in 1992 when I
Hmm.
was 7 years old.
Yeah, so you're giving your age away now, but that's
It's
okay.
fine.
So in
I'm
all
okay with
those,
that. I did that on purpose.
so in all those years of wisdom, what's been the best piece of advice that you've been given or you try to live by that's really served you?
That's a very good question. I believe that um, the biggest piece of wisdom, what is to just be kind to others, as you have no clue what they are going through in their lives. So just continue being kind to others. I think
Okay.
kindness is one of the most important thing in the world, and it differentiates people from one another. And especially in the world that we live in, it's super important to be kind and have that.
Yeah, you're spot on. I think that's one of the reasons why we connected and get on really well is because I see us as both really two kind people, and
I
I agree with
totally
you.
could not agree more.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a beautiful thing. Just another question that I have for you. In the whole relationship and dating game, I wonder if there's one book that you would recommend that you think is solid within your area of expertise.
Wow. So there's actually plenty of books, but one book who I've studied by, and there's actually two of them, but um John Gottman, who is like the guru of relationships, he has a ton of different books, and one of them I would say, he talks about like the different love languages, that how we communicate with one another, and it's called the 5 love languages. I would strongly recommend that for anyone who is in a relationship or is starting to get into a relationship. And the reason so is we communicate in different love languages. So once you are able to determine your love language, it's also easy to kind of determine your partner's love language and how you communicate. For instance, I'll use myself as an example. I'm very big on um, kind of like words of affirmation. So my partner would need to shower me with words of affirmations in order for me to feel like they're able to understand my love language. So it's a great book. The five love languages are great. And John Gottman is just he's been an amazing role model for me through this journey. There's plenty of others. I mean, there's also Esther Perel, which I don't know, I feel like you might be very familiar with her.
Mhm.
Um, she's an amazing, marriage and family coach.
I love that book, The 5 Love Languages. I know it. I've even mentor on it actually myself.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that. I just,
Yeah, mine are physical touch and words of affirmation, which are very male.
it's interesting because mine are also physical touch would be the second one for me as
Okay,
well.
well that's why we got on so well, isn't it? Though I can't reach you, Ina. So there's nothing that I can do there, but I can give you words. I can give you words.
Yeah.
Hopefully your boyfriend's doing a great job there. I'm sure he is.
Oh, thank you.
So the
I'll let
show's
him know. He'll be watching this. So,
yeah, yeah. Well, absolutely. Saying this was wonderful, and hugging you while you watch it on Roku TV, eating popcorn. But the show's called One More Round, Ina, and obviously you can probably relate one more round to relationships all the time. But when you hear the words one more round, what does it like convey to you?
so to me, one more round is kind of giving another, like a second chance of something, or second shot, or a second round of something, and it could relate to anything. um, since I am in the relationship field, I would say that one more round could pertain to giving the relationship another round, another shot. It could be a friendship, it could be a business deal. So it could be absolutely related to anything. It's not necessarily geared towards one thing specifically.
And would there be something like specific that you could share of where, you've gone one more round? I feel like I've gone one more round about 10 times even this week. So I know sometimes it's hard for sometimes for us to really pinpoint something. But what can you remember one poignant thing in your life or in your business where you went one more round?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, as you've known me for many years, originally when I kind of started this journey, I felt like I was on a great path, and then something along the way, obstacles came about where I felt like I had to take a few steps back and to really focus on other areas of my life and not so much on the business. And then now I'm back at it. So I feel like even just this as an example could be like giving the opportunity to for myself like another round to do it.
So what was it exactly? I need you to go a little deeper and a bit more vulnerable with me because it was
Absolutely. No, totally. I absolutely, I can totally talk about this. So originally when I started this journey, it was probably about 5 years ago when I met you. And so I was in a completely different place, a different space in my life. And I wasn't really sure who I wanted to work with, whether it would be women as, single like myself at the time, or if it would be um, working with males. Now, as you know, working with men and women are it's completely two different, it's very different dynamics, although we are similar, but we are very different. So at first I started to kind of work with the males, and then I realized that I wasn't really reaching a great audience. And so I had to rebrand myself and really refocus to who's my target audience, who do I want to help. And that's kind of the example that I'll use as kind of taking it, going another round, and now I'm here. So
Yeah, I get that. So it sounds to me that the whole relationship, like heart that you have, has really been something that's a part of you, and you've just had to find a way to express it.
absolutely. I totally believe that. I remember, and even my parents can confirm this, I was like 9 years old and I would ask them, why do people fall in love? Why do they separate? And it was deeper questions. It wasn't like, where do kids come from? It was more of why do some people get along and others don't? And, within family dynamics. So I felt like I was always super passionate about relationships and how do people make it work. And I would ask a ton of questions even as a child.
Mm. And how much do you think that, you coming from a broken family like I did was a part of the reason why you're wanting to heal and protect and nurture relationships?
I think that that definitely has a lot to do with it. I don't want to say that that's the main reason, but I definitely feel like coming from a family, my parents got divorced when I was 8 years old, and watching their relationship with each other and how toxic, and I don't want to use the word toxic, I don't like that word, but maybe um, you know traumatic that their relationship was with each other. They just two people who are great individually were just not able to kind of make it work together. And then my mom getting remarried and being in a completely different relationship, that kind of showed me that um there are people that could make it work, and then there are people that can't, and that's okay. It's just, I think that that definitely helped me on this journey to be able to be raised where I was able to see both ends of what that looks like. So yeah, totally.
Yeah, I get that because, for me, it's something that's very close to home for me, coming from a broken family and gone through a failed marriage myself, and then being able to take the learnings from that,
Learning
you
from
know,
that. Yeah,
or, and business is made up of relationships anyway, and so
absolutely.
it's important to be able to take care of that so that we can move forward in our personal life, and
Yeah.
obviously it impacts everything else that we do. Now, I was on your website, innamel.com. So, people please check that out because that's where Ina is. You'll be able to have a conversation with her and see how she works. Now, Ina, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is because I've also been reading a book called Attachment, and I noticed that on your website you have like a quiz or a survey to help people find out their attachment. And I wondered whether it was the same sort of thing or whether it was different. So the book that I've been reading, it's been based on 3 different attachments, which all derive from childhood, which is a secure attachment, an anxious attachment, and an avoidant attachment.
That's exactly what that is. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us, because I love this, and I only came across it about 6 months ago. So tell us a little bit about that and how it will help us move forward, whether we work with you or not. It's a great tool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question too. So when we're born, we are caregivers. They kind of depending on the relationship with our caregivers, as we become adults, it's a, we kind of get these different styles of attachment. So secure attachment, just to kind of make this shorter, secure attachment is when you are raised by caregivers who are loving, who take care of you, who nurture you. So you grow up as an adult who has a secure attachment style. And this theory, it's been around for many, many years. I believe it's about 60 years. And um, the good part about the attachment styles is that when you're dating or when you're in the process of dating, you're trying to get to know your partner. And so, for instance, I'll use an example as I'm sure you've heard this before, maybe you've even experienced this, where you are in the process of dating someone, and let's say they are, very detached, or they don't reach out back to you, to your messages. And so they kind of give you these mixed feelings. Or another example is when they're super clingy, they'll message you 100 times a day. And so by knowing your attachment styles, and there's many quizzes, I offer a quiz on my website, but then there's a ton of other ones where you can take the quiz and you find out your attachment style. And so it's also very interesting, and it really helps you within your intimate relationships. Just like the love languages, I believe that that's another add-on to
Mhm.
kind of getting to know yourself and your partner as well. So I do recommend checking that out. And there's 4 of them. So, we don't have to get into each one of them, but secure attachment style is typically the one where the most of the population has. And that's when you feel secure because at the time when you were growing up, your caregiver was nurturing, was giving you all the love and, the affection that you needed in order to become a healthy adult.
Yeah, it is a fantastic resource. I mean, it's helped me to because it obviously you reflect on you, and then you can also reflect on your partner, so that you can better understand them and not take things so personally.
Exactly. Yes.
So when I did the test, I was secure, but I did have some anxious tendencies, not a high level, but enough there that I had already identified, and my girlfriend as well has identified uh, some opportunities
It's
there.
interesting. You see I'm also learning something new about you.
Yeah, but I mean, I think with anything, like we should all be taking
Yeah.
responsibility to grow, to develop, to look at ourselves. Too many people in the dating world, they think, what man or what woman do I want, but they don't look at what man or woman do I need to be in order to attract the man and the woman that we want.
And I love that you said that because I come across so many wonderful women, and I feel like they all have the checklist, you know, of what kind of partner they want. I need him to be tall, successful, um, adventurous, but it's also very important to take a look at yourself, like you said, and to, you know, are you that person? Do you have those qualities? Can you give your partner the same that you're requesting from them? So it's super important. I'm so glad you brought that up, because a lot of people are always looking for what they want, what they need, but a lot of times you also have to take a look at yourself. It's so important.
It is really important, but that goes with anything though. With business, it's the whole premise of the fact that it isn't about you, it's about the, you know, the other. But you have to look at, what do I need to be in order to give that person what it is that they want. We've got to take responsibility, whether it's in relationship or business, to work on this so that we can better reach the people that we want to attract. Now, Inna, if people want to work with you, if people want to find out more about you, is Inna.com the best way for them to go about that? InnaMel.com?
So yeah, there's two ways to actually to find me. They can go on innamel.com, or they can go on my Instagram handle, which is I am Inna Mel, and they can, you know, direct message me that way as well. So those are probably the two fastest and best ways to get in touch with me.
Awesome. Well, great to have you on this episode of One More Round.
Thank you so much for having me. This was
Thank you.
great. Thank you. Pleasure.
Cheers, Inna.